It's a good game plan. Are we going live?
I think we're live. Hello, if you've just joined us, it's the ETF2L semi-final between BK and LBC. We're going to the first mid of the first map on Viaduct. I'm here with Sideshow and kaidus, Suyooo on the camera. BK are on red against the blue Frenchman, and they're going aggressive really fast. AMS with a quick pick on the med. Zappos is going to get two, and BK have come flying out of the gates right now. No sniper from LBC, but it didn't seem to make any difference, and they got absolutely crushed there.
The joint aggression there from AMS and Zappos was absolutely phenomenal. They absolutely crushed LBC. They got stuck in this little corner underneath cliff and they just got massacred. It was disgusting to watch. So it'll be interesting to see what they kind of pull off now. Flippy has gone sniper, so they're going to be facing a big Uber disadvantage here. Knutsson's going to have his Uber holding on that cliff, and the BK team just setting up in a defensive position. Are they going to go for suicides? Flippy gets the first pick onto Zebasai. That's going to make them a bit of room as the defensive scout is going to be taken out. A bomb in from Exxon. Exxon does manage to force out the Uber straight away. So yeah, another bombing play from Exxon, as you were talking about in the pre-game.
Yeah, and Exxon's actually still alive behind him. He's going to come back in now. He's sneaking up on Knutsson, going to get the free pick on Knutsson. Now he's going to fight Rib. He's going to get both of them here, Exxon. Exxon being allowed to just do whatever he wants.
Oh my god! What a ridiculous play.
But Exxon's feeling confident, especially with those two scouts backing him up. And that flippy headshot just led to a series of errors, and people, like the soldiers just got completely caught out from BK there on the flank.
Yeah, they kind of tied up their soldiers on the flank, bombed Exxon in. Exxon had nobody denying him because everybody was elsewhere doing other things, and then just destroyed people as he came in behind. Zappos and Rib now going aggressive. Rib can't quite pull off the same thing that Exxon was able to previously. He gets taken down by his counterpart. P goes down as well, and only Knutsson and Zebasai left alive building the Uber in spawn, so a big difference there in success ratios on their suicide plays.
Yeah, Bull, like, he didn't really get much pressure from anyone other than Rib, and Rib was only firing pipes, and Bull just seemed to dodge them pretty comfortably, so they're going to hang on to this Uber, and now BK have built up with Knutsson, but they're going to have to push into this flippy sniper. This is going to be key in this map, them overcoming this sort of flippy sniper hold. They're starting to edge their way in now, very tentatively. The soldiers are jumping up. Flippy's not taken, done really any damage yet. We're going to Uber, and actually Rib's going to jump forward. Bull's going to counter pop. Soldier goes behind for BK, but they already lost P in that fight, and now Exxon's chasing pretty hard. The soldier's coming with him as well. He's going to go deep onto Nuts, and Knutsson's not going to take full damage from that last rocket. He will survive. And they've got some other picks from this. I think some nice work from behind. Now Zappos is getting aggressive, really pinning back his demo and medic. He won't be able to get a pick, but he will be able to force him back. And confident retake from BK, and that's promising for them.
Absolutely. So a 25% advantage here for BK. I think we'll see a non-Uber push. The LBC team just want to come forward here, fight before Knutsson gets his Uber charge up. Exxon's taking a lot of damage actually. AMS is coming over to finish off the frag, does get that frag, but Rib and P have gone down in exchange. Zappos goes down as well, and AMS is too far forward. Knutsson's only on 30 health. Is he going to be able to get out? He's desperately getting shepherded backwards by AMS and Zebasai. He does manage to get out there, but they've given up all of that room and that big Uber charge advantage that they had just from the aggression out of LBC.
Yeah, T-Mac has made the switch up to Scouts, something we haven't quite seen before. Well, same idea, different roster lineup. T-Mac on Scout this time, leaving Tech as the sole soldier. Both soldiers now stacking right side for BK, going to go behind. The Uber's going to come in, leading with Rib again. Rib's trying to get there, but Bull's quite far back, and he's still got no pressure. Rib's going to drop behind him now, but he's completely isolated. Free pick for BK. Exxon's going to power forward and get another frag. And now BK are out of players, out of Uber, and are really just going to have to fall back. The soldier's even going aggressive to maybe try and punish him further, but he's just going to force him out to spawn, and looking pretty confident as LBC take it all the way down to the last minute of holding the point.
Yeah, it's really interesting because BK have putting so much focus onto kind of Bull and Flippy, who tend to be in the same area, that Exxon's just left completely open to do whatever he wants, and he's making full use of that. Aggression coming in again though. Rib and AMS and Zappos all coming in to try and get the force out of Bull. Bull has used his Uber charge. They're going to be able to kill Zebasai here as well. Knutsson and Hair P building in spawn. Exxon's gone really far forward. I think he's going to be trying a forward hold. Are the rest of his team going to forward hold as well, or is Exxon just getting a sticky trap up? Does look like a sticky trap on that right hand side, and now BK have to push in against that sniper from Flippy and the two scouts, but they do have a big advantage. They've got 28 seconds to make it work.
Exxon's caught out a little bit as well. He's going to have to jump out on really low HP, but actually working it into a bait on AMS. And now Zappis goes down as well. They're really struggling. We're going to have to pop to kill these two players who went behind. Really poor Uber. Zeverside will pick up a T-Mac frag, but there's still a soldier behind. This is really bad for BK. They're about to be surrounded. Here comes the soldier all over Knutsson. Down to 30 HP. The players are pushing back in. Bull's going to actually claim the frag. They're going to clean up a bunch of the players. They're on the point. They've almost capped it. They're going to try and go aggressive now. They should be able to recap this point right now just with sheer aggression.
Yeah, aggression and that spawn time advantage that they get for not having the points. So they got that, they managed to cap it off, but now all LBC have to do is cap it once. And with the big spawn advantage that they now have, they should be able to take this. They've actually switched back to a default lineup because they know that they don't have to play for any med picks or anything like that. They literally just have to win one team fight.
Yeah, they're trying to walk in already, going off the Ubers again. But they're taking so much damage right now. Exxon's still got 2 frags out of it somehow, and that might just stop the aggression from finishing them off. They're even going to keep going right now. Soldier's gone in, but he's kind of isolated. Nice from Tech to trade with P. So they've now left Knutsson exposed. Scout's gone to Knutsson as they go forward to get the other frags. Flippy's going to get the pick. He's going to leave his 2 players on the point. And now the healed Frenchmen are coming back in. The Scout's focusing down Rib first. The Scout still wins. Zeverside will trade. He's only got a pistol. Soldier's come.
Bool gave him the incredible jukes there. Bool is just juking around everybody. He's managed to evade both of their soldiers. All 4 rockets piled out from both soldiers there. And he survives on tons of health. I thought he was caught out for sure, but some great movement there by Bool. And LBC do pick up the first round.
I mean, it was the right choice. Like, they were, Bull was close to Uber. Like, they needed to pick him, really, if they had any chance in that fight. Like, an Uber would have just sealed the deal.
Absolutely.
But they just missed all their rockets.
A different rollout this time, though. Flippy is running sniper to the first mid. They lost the first mid fight, completely got destroyed. This time, they take out Zappis right at the beginning. AMS is taken down as well, so no double soldier aggression coming out here from BK. They have taken a lot of room across the point, though, but another headshot rings out across the map. Oh my god, Flippy going incredibly huge. And that's the difference that a sniper can make.
Yeah, I don't know if it was for sniper or if it was just for Zappis AMS dual bomb was just nowhere near as successful as it was the first time.
That might be because Zappis took a big meaty bullet to the forehead right at the beginning as well. AMS was just left stranded on his own, and without his buddy he couldn't really do anything. So 80% Uber versus 100% Uber at the moment. Rib's going to bomb in. It looks like they're going to try a force before they actually... before they get this Uber charge up, but nobody comes even close. There's T-Mac and Flip on that scout. We do have a little pause here. T-Mac and Flip on the scouts doing so well pocketing. I really haven't seen T-Mac play scout at all
Not in a real situation.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because the last time they played Viaduct was against Planet Express, I think. They absolutely destroyed them. Flippy got more points than Bull did. They just rinsed face all over the shop. But I think that was Flip and Tech scouting there, and they had T-Mac on Soldier. So it's interesting that they've chosen to kind of keep their pocket up, but running gunboats, and then switch their roamer off to scout. Really interesting. What do you think about that, Kaidus?
I think it's actually quite a genius move, or genius maybe stretching it because it's kind of simple, but it's granting Exxon quite a lot more freedom. Like, we have a discussion in the pre-game, like how is it gonna work? Because Exxon's not really that pockety style of demo, and not really, maybe not disciplined enough to do it. But it's allowing him to have enough freedom to roam. Like, it's kind of like a second roamer, even more so than normal, because there's actually like a kind of a set in stone plan for it. Because Tech is obviously stable with the medic, and this whole strat is based around having only really like one kind of tanky player with the medic. But yeah, I don't know. From watching the game, obviously, there's been non-stop action, so I haven't really chipped in. But the forces from BK really need to get better. Like, I don't know, is Flippy body shotting like a soldier and making it too easy for his team to focus down people one by one or something like that? I haven't had my pop on him at the right time.
Rib got a headshot in that last suicide wave, like just before the pause. I think Rib got a headshot, like not like literally as he landed, he got a headshot. And
yeah, because there's been
wiped.
I mean, we've seen 3 or 4, and I think only one force. Obviously, that moment at the end where they kind of all sacked for Bull, like really bad coordination, or even, well, a combination of the both. Like, not so much coordination, really incredible movement from Bull at the moment. Really is playing out of his skin. So I don't know. It was kind of back and forth. Like, the round was closer than it felt, and you have to think like if BK were actually nailing these forces as you'd expect them to. Because I mean, the 4-man force, like, generally it's only countered particularly well if you're like putting your medic in really crazy like positions and kind of confusing your opponent. But there's no mind games here. It's Bull behind the rock every time. Like, he's just dodging and they're just not hitting him. Yeah, like, I mean, I think the sniper is part of this. I think he is denying people and making it easier to focus, but I think they have to step up these forces, really.
Do you think they're going like too direct? Like rather than 4 people trying their best to run past everyone and go for bull, like the initial bomb should be a little bit more just like someone just jumps into Exxon or jumps into one of the scouts and forces everyone to focus that to then open it up. Like I'm really not sure I like the idea of Rib going first like he has done in a couple of these.
I was going to say exactly that. I think Rib is going far too early. I mean, when I'm playing demo on this map, it's not necessarily the way, but the way I like to do it is always have my soldiers or one soldier or one scout to go first. I would always call for my medic to give me the last buff, and I would ask for a specific call, like where is the medic, and not just he's behind the rock, like behind the rock left, behind the rock right, something like this, like specific, so you can, like, you almost know where you're going to put your first sticky before you're even jumping. But at the moment, Rib is in first, and he's being the bait, and kind of like, if a demo can get in for free, he really can't help but hit a sticky on the medic at some point. So if you think you have like 2 soldiers going in and getting a little bit of damage and then demo flying in for free, that's really what you want to see. But Rib is getting denied completely, and the soldiers, they just don't have, you know, they can't move as fast, they can't get as fast over the point. So once you've dealt with the demo, you can kind of look up and see these like soldiers flowing through the air, and Bull can just dodge them a lot easier.
Yeah, I really feel like, even though Bull's movement was good that one time, as we now go back live into the action, he's really not had to do much more than maybe at the end of the first round when he dodged no soldiers, but even then that wasn't even necessary, really. He's now really putting on a lot of pressure, and now we're going to see the repush from BK. Now they've got their spawns in. They do have a full Uber. It's going to be equal Ubers for this. Bull holding on to his, obviously, from that last suicide wave. They're going to start walking in, but they do have to worry about that sniper. They're getting quite far. Knutsson's all the way across the point before he uses them. They even got a pick on T-Mac, and there's so much damage going behind. Exxon is dropped out of the Uber as well. The flank is causing havoc right now for LBC, and they've got so many picks. They're going to pressure this scout and medic as well, and I think Zebasai just wants to chase it all the way to last. Medic gets a slice, Bull gets a slice, down to 60, pistol comes out, Zebasai will take him down before the respawning T-Mac can come out, and that's huge right now.
That was exactly what they need, BK. They just swarmed in there. We should mention as well that the HUD is broken because of the pause, and it isn't a win already with 0 seconds on the point for LBC. They've still got a little while left, so the game is carrying on despite what it may look like. All players now up for LBC. Flippy still running. Exxon with a huge bomb in, but then swerves off at the last second, just taking a ton of damage, and now needs to be healed back up.
Yeah, the bite bomb not really very effective there, as it has never been, really. And really aggressive hold from BK right now. They have to be careful that they keep a tab on Flippy, though, as getting Knutsson too far across that point when Flippy has an angle could be a crucial mistake. And you can see Rib really pressuring that right-hand side. It's not really in any way, shape or form a textbook forward hold, but just all standing very close to the right side. And LBC are just going to rotate around it, come out the left side. Going to walk into Rib's damage though. There's a lot of pressure on him here. They're going to trade demo men. Now they're going to lose Zappis. Bit of a weird one here. They've been in. They're going to get the counter pop out. Knutsson's really deep with this Uber Bone. This could be a problem. Soldiers behind, but I think they're just going to focus. The soldier's going to try and come in, but he's got 2 scouts on him. But he does create the distraction. Nice play from AMS there. Indirectly rescuing his medic. And LBC are going to get back on the point there. Really weird hold from BK.
It's a nice play for Zebasai and Knutsson to be able to escape, so the Ubers are equal. They're going to be able to go for an on-Uber push here. Now they just have to watch out for Flippy, as ever. He's going to be trying to rain headshots down upon them. Hasn't been so effective recently, but just the fact that his presence is around there makes it so difficult for BK to do anything. AMS gets instantly destroyed by Tech, and then Flip takes down Zappis as well. Both of the soldiers minced as soon as they went aggressive. That gives LBC such an advantage as they push forwards, and a body shot at the end there to finish off Knutsson. Zebasai is going to get picked up by an aggressive Flip around that cliff area. No, he actually dies to a roller that was just spammed over the cliff by Exxon. So an easy hold perhaps from LBC. They just seem to destroy the soldiers before dealing with everybody else, and they don't really get that much pressure upon them.
They like if their soldier bomb doesn't work, like the AMS and Zappis going at the same time, they really need to just maybe fall back and play a lot more defensive. As the soldiers are going deep again, 50 damage onto Bull so far. Rib's behind him. They will actually get the pop out. Rib's still behind. I'm not sure if he's going to do anything. He's just trying to throw random pipes. He's just killed himself. Yeah. Just had to get the respawn wave synced up with his team, but they get the force, and that's what we talked about during the pause, and that's what they need more of. And now they're going to have a full Uber advantage to push into this LBC hold. But once again, LBC about 40 seconds, probably about 50 seconds by the time we actually get in, ahead on the timer.
Yeah, there's 30 seconds remaining and a full Uber charge. Zappis looks like he's going aggressive. Does get caught with the tail end of the Uber. Rib and AMS both going aggressive. Happy takes down T-Mac on that flank area, and Tech's going to be dueling Zappis. They really haven't got any frags with the supercharge, but they've got a lot of position. They've got themselves the point, but they really needed frags with that. And now the Uber situation is flip-flopped completely, and with only 19 seconds left on the point and a minute with which to push, it's looking good for LBC here. They're going to be moving forward, 90% Uber, coming across this patio area. Zappis goes aggressive, but the scout just denying him so easily.
AMS is down as well. I'm really not sure when that was. That was very unnecessary from BK, and they're just going to have to... They can't concede this point because of the time, but they're going to have to try it. Now Rib's going to get caught out as well. They will get the revenge frag on Flip, but with that Zebasai getting headshot there by Flip, they're down to 15 seconds, 75% on Uber. Bull already has 100% in the bag. This is going to take nothing short of a minor miracle from the BK guys to come back from this.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing in anyway. They do have their Uber charge, 3 seconds left on the point. They will get overtime as long as they manage to put some cap time on the point or get bodies on the point. They've lost their soldiers though at the beginning of the fight, and this has just been the story the whole time on Viaduct so far. And they're losing more players. Happy goes down, Exxon just piling in more damage. They take down Rib and Zebasai. Knutsson finally goes down to a body shot as they recap the point there. That is 2-0 to LBC, and they're looking very dominant.
Should we go to team comms for this next middle?
That's a very good idea. I shall link the team comms.
I do not have admin. It's all on you, Sidey.
No, apparently my admin has disappeared as well, so we do have a problem. But
we will... We're going right now, yeah?
Who's got left? I'm pushing right to demo. Oh, I got sniped. Sniper's behind me.
Rebuild.
2, 1. The point is now available for capture.
A very solemn atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah, it does, doesn't it? It feels very, I don't know, they feel very disheartened. You don't really get like a positive vibe listening to those comms. We only caught a snippet of it actually because the mid was just over before it had even begun.
Yeah, we are in another pause
destroyed
now as well. What do you make of this whole situation, Kaidus? BK, they can kind of contest, but they never look like they're going to take a full round off LBC.
Yeah, I think they're kind of feeling the heat at the moment. Like, I've been watching kind of a lot more POV action than you guys probably have, going over the top of everything. Yeah, just watching how these guys are aiming at the moment. Like, not aiming badly, but just kind of... You can kind of see the nerves in them. Like, Zappis, he comes behind a sniper and he's just kind of overthinking everything, you know, putting the rocket, like, double, triple guessing where the sniper's going to step when he barely even knows he's there, and these sorts of things. So I think they really just need to kind of try and get a foothold in it. I mean, it is important to remember that this is LBC's map, so BK don't really lose a whole lot if they don't take this map, but if it ends up to 3-0, that's going to hurt, but like technically they don't really need anything here. I mean, both teams probably would admit they're quite evenly matched. This map doesn't perhaps show it so much, but if they're evenly matched, you kind of expect them each to take their own map and look at the decider to find out where the real strength lies. So, but I don't know. Going into Granary off the back of a potential 3-0 loss, though, that's not going to be good for their morale.
Yeah, that's going to be terrible for them. I can give you a little insight into why this pause is happening. The first one happened because Tech's screen went black. The second one has happened because Tech's PC has just crashed. So Tech having all the technical difficulties.
Wow, what's that, 2 puns? And we're only 1 map in. Stay tuned, guys.
This is filled with more jokes than a Mirrorlin interview.
Suyooo, can you get some kind of pun counter up? Is this too last minute? I presume Suyooo's working on it as we speak.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
I just want to go into it, because obviously, like, LBC being good at Viaduct is no secret, especially with Flippy on Sniper, you know, and the rest of them are good at it as well. It's not just like a one-trick thing. Do you find it interesting that BK were happy to take the Viaduct game to them? Like, because obviously both teams got to ban 1 map, and BK banned Gully Wash, and were happy, obviously, possibly even expecting the Viaduct to be picked by LBC.
Yeah, do you know what? When I was looking at that log of the pick and ban process, I was just... I was baffled, honestly. I was looking at it and then trolled through some of their map results. And I just couldn't figure out a reason why they banned Gullywash really over Viaduct. I really couldn't understand it because I thought that LBC's best map has got to be Viaduct. Like, they are really... they have all the advantages on paper, I think. They're a DM-focused team, and it's a big DM-focused map. They have an incredible sniper, one of the best in the world, and everything really should play to their advantage. And then I can understand LBC's decision banning process, etc., when they got destroyed by BK on it before, and then the granary decision as well from BK, I can understand, because LBC have looked a little bit shaky on that as they came up against Planet Express and they dropped that granary game, although they did have Captain Hacks playing, etc. But I just really don't understand the choice of them banning Gullywash and not Viaduct, because if they lose this and then they're going onto their home map, it doesn't set them off on a good start.
It's match point, isn't it, after this, or match map, I guess.
Match map.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I could have a guess as to why this happened.
This is why you're here.
Yeah, I'll just take guesses, you know. I could be wrong. I'm not saying this as fact, but I mean, there was some talk over the last few weeks that BK's worst weak map was Viaduct. So as well as it being LBC's strong map, it was kind of considered, I think, to be BK's weak map, at least against Main Call. But there was a PCW that happened the other week, the first in which BK were trying a different approach to the map, and I could be wrong, I could misremember, but I think they got a very, very encouraging result from it, and I think they kind of maybe in their heads they wanted to try and rule out maps they had to eliminate, because they have some weaknesses. They have kind of strong maps and weak maps, perhaps more so than other teams. Because of some of the inexperienced players in their roster, they have these kind of maps where there's just their booby maps, and I think they were kind of desperate to kind of eliminate some. So this result on Viaduct they got in practice, I think, has maybe encouraged them on Viaduct and made them not eliminate it, because I think it is a fact that they were kind of maybe struggling to decide which of their worst maps was the absolute worst, and I think that might have just tipped the scale a little bit, and maybe they wanted to kind of not show weakness there, because they obviously, I mean, I don't know the insight from inside Main Core when he was Sexual's camp, but that result probably made them think, maybe these guys aren't so bad on Viaduct. But if they're then kind of known to be eliminating Viaduct, I don't know, I think this might be this is maybe a ballsy play from them to say we ain't scared to play anyone on Viaduct anymore. So I think it potentially could be that, because I don't know, Zebo's all about that kind of stuff, showing confidence and things like that, allowing any merc, you can have Mike on pocket, that's fine, that kind of thing. It's a very Zebo-side thing to do. I could be wrong though. Maybe it's all bullshit.
I'm finding it very weird the way BK are deciding to play. They'll make the repush. Their repushes have improved from the earlier stages of the game and the suicides. They've gotten better, but then once they gain the point, once they regain the ground, everything, it's like they don't have a plan for holding the point. They just kind of seem to improvise it each time, and you just see LBC sort of pick holes in the defense without really having to try that hard.
I think typically they always like to hold this point with a sniper. It was kind of their game plan, the pussy strat as we had in Insomniac, and I've heard them, so not pussy, fag was the strat name. I'm watching these streams of Knutsson and Zappis. They have been calling fag this season, the same strat pretty much we ran in Insomniac, and I think it originated in Broda, so it's going really far back for Zebasai and Rib. And they were doing that originally, but now they're holding the point without a sniper, and it's all kind of new, and I'm seeing a lot of random shit, Rib diving into a choke point. I don't know, is he just trying to go huge? He read the wrap, they poked right and then wrapped left, and Rib read this, but he jumped just slightly too early. I don't think everyone knows their job. I think they're just kind of improvising a little bit, and unless, I don't know, I feel they're not flying at the moment, are they? They're not all performing their best, but they're kind of playing like they are, you know? They're kind of going for these improvised plays, which kind of requires everyone to kind of be hitting their shots and nailing their timings, and they're just not doing it at the moment.
Yeah, we have unpaused here.
Unpause.
Yeah, so the game is going to be going live again. Yeah, I really think they can come back into this, though. I believe in BK. I'm calling the 3-2 comeback. It's real.
Ever the optimist. We're going to go straight into this repush, and they're walking forward. Knutsson's going to pop early, Rib's going to lead the charge with that jump in. They're going to get the counter pop off. Knutsson has to multi quite a lot and is maybe too deep. He's going to get chased pretty hard. He's not going to surf as he would want to. Gets out on 10 HP, but now there's no heals in the fight for BK. But they have got soldiers behind. Zappis comes crushing down. Medic's in the air. Ball lands on the thing, the little box, and will sort of squeak away on 20 health. But BK going to come back in, and now it's a pretty even fight right up until that headshot landed by Flippin', and now BK are just going to have to back it up.
Bull's gone down though, so Knutsson's retained the heals and Uber advantage here. They don't have the point, but that means they're just going to get faster and faster spawns. Tech is actually kind of... this is the point at which he timed out. Right, okay. I was wondering what he was up to. Yeah, so this is going to be the aggression coming out of BK. AMS finds the sticky trap of Exxon. Sticky's down, guys. and Zappis is going to be going aggressive, but they've got this huge heal advantage and huge Uber advantage. I feel like they really don't need to be chasing them as hard as they are right now. They just need to get on the point.
Yeah, what's going to be really interesting is what they do after this, like what their game plan is. Obviously, all sort of a pause Tech is now just coming back in as Tech rejoins the game. And they're going for a forward hold, but it seems much more structured, but I don't know if they're just near in time as both scouts get through for free. They're going to pop a Uber, Exxon might be trapped, they'll take that death, along with T-Max, and LBC just catching them out. BK had a better, it looked like they were more structured, they just weren't quick enough at it.
Yeah, they weren't there quick enough. They hadn't set up by the time LBC wanted to push out, and they were just caught in kind of a middle ground in between holding the point and going forwards. They just weren't in position at all. They were able to get a really cheap force out of them there. LBC really didn't even have to try to get the Uber out of Knutsson. He went down to about 3 health. Looks like we've got aggression coming out of Zappis on that left-hand side, bottom of the cliff, trying to get either a kill onto Flippy or a force out of Bull, but unable to get either of those. And LBC going to be trying to move this 40% Uber charge advantage that they have across the point. T-Mac going aggressive onto Rib, does manage to take him down. AMS has got Bull in the air. Bull gets the fear and does pop his Uber charge off. Exxon bombing forwards to try and pick off Knutsson, but Knutsson's already read the situation and he's miles out of there. As Zebeside's the only person really far enough forwards to counter pick, but he's going to be flanking Exxon. Oh no, Exxon's dead.
Surely. There we go.
Yeah.
Scout's going to come onto Zebeside now as well. They're holding quite far forward, but now Scout's alone. And meanwhile, the rest of the BK team are coming out the other side. Knutsson walking forward with that 100% charge. They still have to be careful of a sniper. Zebeside gets reminded exactly why that is. Rib goes really deep. BK to begin really aggressive here. The Uber is popped. They're going to clean up 1, 2, 3 frag. Flippy's still in and around on that cliff though. I don't know if they know he's there. He's going to go for the peak. Misses Knutsson though. Now Flippy's going to have to back it off as the soldier is hot on his tail. Flippy will survive and get back in spawn.
Yeah, Bull has gone down, and with the time ticking down, they really have to try and get back into this. Bull's gone down a few more times than he has in any of the previous rounds, I think. It just feels like LBC really haven't got as much control over the point as they have previously. Flippy as well doesn't quite seem to be hitting his shots as reliably as you might expect, but still doing fairly well. LBC still in this. Exxon going in for a big bomb, trying to get onto Knutsson, gets him down to 90 health. Tech's going to try and finish this off. He's on 13, but Knutsson is going to be able to escape with Hair P, but they've sacked all the rest of their players in order for Knutsson's life.
It's going to be okay though. He still has an Uber advantage of about 20% or so going into this, so as long as they're quick, they should be okay. They are going to have to push into that sniper, but it looks like they go in the direction he's not looking. So as long as they're nice and aggressive with it, they might be able to get something. They're going to try and pressure Bull now. Going pretty aggressive. Flippy's going to go down early, but the Bull does have these Uber pretty comfortably in the Rib's going to get stuck behind and go down, and they've actually lost Zappis and her P as well. And Exxon's going all the way deep for Knutsson, and that's pretty much a complete cleanup. Just for one player left behind. Is it Zebeside?
Yeah, it's Zebo, and he's just causing a little bit of havoc behind, but Flip and Tech are going to combine together. He's actually getting the better of this fight against Flip. He might be able to pick up this frag, and he's delaying everybody so long. BK might use this opportunity to try and get some players in from the front, but Zebeside does go down. LBC going to be moving up, and it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, the double soldier bomb coming in right now, but AMS gets rinsed by a sticky trap, and Zappis is getting flung around as well. He goes down. Rib just trying to put out some aggression, but as the timer ticks down, BK just in a desperate situation. Knutsson and Hair P so weak. Only Zebeside left alive to do anything, and a 3-0 victory for the Frenchies. They got absolutely smacked.
Yeah, dominant really there. Tech, the only worrying thing for LBC going into that is a couple of times towards the end after Tech reconnected, he did lag like a few more times. Like he lined himself up for a medic pick on Knutsson and then just kind of warped and then just got killed by a scout instead. So that could be an issue going into hopefully a closer granary game.
You would definitely expect a closer granary game. Sorry, yeah, carry on.
I don't want to break you guys off, but my heart just broke when I looked at these logs and saw Rib on 5 and 19. I think it's the story of the game.
Well,
like, dear, he had to. I don't know sure why it was, but he was jumping every time. Like, they Uber, he jumps. They Uber, he jumps. He's just jumping over and over again, and he's not really connecting a whole lot. But like, that's bad, man. Like 4K damage, 163 damage a minute. I mean, I've had these games. I know how these games are, and like, I don't know, man. I didn't even realize at the time just how poorly he was getting on in this game. But like, now that I look at these logs, like Zebeside's their top damager. Like Rib, Zappis, AMS is the bottom damager in the game. Like, this is a a choke, to be honest. I don't know how to like. I can't really analyze this with like tactics or anything. This is like just like a disaster.
It seems like everybody got absolutely rinsed as well. I mean, if you look at the top 3 players there for damage from LBC, Exxon, Tech, Flippy, they just never died. They were never killed, and I think that speaks volumes about the fragging and choking of BK's players.
I think the most worrying thing is Flippy really didn't hit a lot of shots for what you expect from Flippy. But considering like a key part of their plan wasn't really on form, it was still really comfortable for them. That's the only worrying thing going into this next map.
Flippy had the least deaths on the server apart from Bull. He had 5 deaths on Sniper in 26 minutes.
And they're the 2 players that they were trying to focus down the most.
It's just a complete disaster. Like Rib sitting on the most heals not in the game but on his team, comfortably above his soldiers. Like he's sitting on 5k with AMs just below 4k, happy in between them on 4.8. And I don't know. Like you're talking about like I don't know what these heals are doing at the moment, because all I see of Rib is he's just jumping. Like I think they've just felt under pressure from the instant the game got going. Like they lost the first few fights, and then they just had this like chasing mentality every time they're going. Like they have to win the fight. In the next 5 seconds, you pop Uber and they have to win. By the time that flashy red glow goes away, they feel like they have to have killed 6 guys and kept the point. And I don't know. I felt like they just lost their heads somewhere along the way, really early on as well.
I don't know, like very occasionally that like the AMS Zappis double bomb sort of dual Roman soldiers roaming together in the same place worked, and when it works really well. But it worked like I think 2 or 3 times in like a 28-minute game, and they didn't seem to have like a backup plan if that failed. And because AMS and Zappis go deep, if it fails, there's no like backing out of that once you've jumped behind them on Viaduct. There's no just let's fall back to safety. It's this either works or we both go down and the rest of our team have to play 4v6.
Yeah, I talked about how teams sometimes tend to, when they're kind of running out of ideas or when their main like tactics aren't working, they kind of cycle through strategies. But there's the other side of this coin where you're so in the moment and your head is so focused on the game that this kind of all goes out of your head. Like I remember playing these kind of high pressure matches as a main caller, and then I watched the VOD or I watched the STV, and I just think, what the hell was I thinking? Like, why didn't we try crits? Why didn't we try like anything? Like they just, for my eyes, it looked like they did the same thing for the entire game.
They just kept playing.
Yeah, they were just doing their thing. Like they never gave themselves a moment. And there was 2 pauses in that game. Like sometimes this happens where you don't have a pause and you just kind of play, especially on Viaduct, where you don't have a moment to think. You're always focusing on the very next situation. You're not really thinking too far ahead. But there was 2 pauses. Like we had enough time to talk enough shit, so they had time to talk. And they didn't. I don't know, maybe there were some subtle changes they made. Maybe they identified things we didn't, because obviously they have a much more kind of sensitive grip on the game than we do watching from above. But
I need to go let my housemate in because she has forgotten her keys. But Sideshow, why don't you talk us through the competition? Give us a bit of a reminder about the chance to win some TF2 items in this